Hey guys and gals, here's a bit of an impromptu tutorial on how to take apart and change the cells in one of these sound bricks. And this is supposed to have a doorbell with a barking dog, and I'll have a link to a video. And this thing has long since been quiet. And yeah, and then you got their speaker, here's your button. That's essentially what these are. And there's your Phillips screw in there. And let's cover some stuff real quick. First thing is make sure you're working in something that's got a lip around the side, if it's like a plate or a Tupperware lid, because there's a lot of small parts. And two, we got to be careful because there is a spring, I believe, right in this area, or it could be over here. I'm trying to think here. It's been a while since I've changed the sails in one of these, and you will need, I believe these are LR41 little sails. Here, let me set these here so you can see them. I believe there's 3 of them you need in this. And yeah, so let's get going. Yes, I sound a bit stuffed up. Allergies have been playing a cruel joke on me, so yeah, I gotta be trying to get through that. Yeah, this is a good thing about these impromptu tutorials is I can be more myself here. Once you take the screw out, we got to be very careful on how this comes apart. It's not easy to get in there. You'll see why here in a second. Just slowly pull this apart really carefully here. I'm going to see if I can keep this button in here. And there is a spring right here. And this thing wants to fly out. So it's a little spring right there, right in this area here. Okay. And I've had a few of you told me you try to change the batteries in one of these and see how the spring here just comes out like that. So we won't be messing with that for a while. Some of you thought the speaker was the battery. Now those are your cells right there. And Lego did not make this any easier for us to remove. So how do you go about removing these? I just have to take one here, and before I do, let me put these over here because I don't want to get them confused. And yeah, we just have to pluck these out. I think it was maybe the middle one that kind of you have to pull out here. And yeah, isn't this fun? I don't think I'm going to censor any of this out because it could be of use for someone who's trying to do this. And there we go. Now, be careful because I can see now there's a lot of stuff that will come out of one of these. So I'm trying to hold down like the circuit board here and stuff like that will flake out. Alright, and the polarity is, I'm trying to think of which way I have to look at one of these. I think there we go. The positive is here, and the negative is here. So this is how they are. Look how crusty that is. Isn't that cool? Yeah, these things are probably starting to leak. That one looks okay, but I'm going to assume that these are all bad. And yeah, if you're not going to use this for quite some time, take the cells out. And now I can't pick them up. And now we got to put the batteries in. And hopefully be fine. Not where it does that. So it's not quite easy. This may not work when we get done. We don't know yet. I've done one of these once. It was... Okay, let's tilt it like that. And yes, I will be bumping into the camera. I usually don't film tutorials like this. And, yeah. Alright. Now, let's see here. It's not going to go in. It's not going to cooperate, huh? Okay. May have to put the middle one in last. So the same way applies in taking it out. Alright. You probably get a better vantage point of seeing it than I do. Just make sure you don't confuse your new batteries and old batteries together. Well, cells if you want to get more technical, but we all call them batteries. And yeah, you can see I'm having a hard time. So hold up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is rotate this thing around. The button's on this side. I'm going to place my sails in here. We're going to start at this in here. It's got this little spring thing in there, and you can see this is really going to be fun. And these were never really meant for us to change the battery, and I'm just going to say it, these were really meant to be a throwaway item, and more of a novelty piece than anything else. And hopefully we can put some life back into this and play with it some more. And yeah, how do you get those batteries in there? You can see I'm already struggling. So do I need to get a pair of hemostats to put in there? See, that spring came off that switch. I'll have to show you how to put that back on. That's all. That's really fun. See, it's just a pain. Let me sit down and look at this real quick here. All right, I had to look at it closely in a magnifier, and yeah, this last one's going to be a turd. Just set it right in there. So I started at this end with the little nipple side, and yeah, this could take several tries. Now, like I said, if you're not into technical stuff or you're not into these lengthy Lego videos, I know there's probably somebody out there that's going to say that they could do this in 30 seconds, yeah, without speed builds. All right. Well, I heard something go off. Well, let's try the button in there. Make sure those batteries are really pressed in. And then... Alright, well that worked. Now we got to put this little spring thing back. Now you don't have to put that in there, but you do if you want to have the doorbell button pop back out. And you just take this, yeah, fall out of my hand, why don't you? Ruin my TV show. Alright, we don't need that anymore. There's two parts to this. Take the part with the loop and stick it in here like this. And then you have the fun chore of feeding this down in here like this. And I'll show you where that's supposed to go. It's hard to do it while I'm doing all this at one time here. I'll show you where this fits in at. You got to hold a bunch of stuff down, and if you're right, you can see right there. It's got to be inside that channel there. Alright, that's where that's supposed to be. And if everything went well, now don't let go of that yet, because that'll fly out. When you put this on, you may want to just kind of hold your breath and not do anything. And there we go. Making sure it still works. Well, I went through all this trouble. I may use it in one of my future house builds. I did it in the 1960s suburban home. I'll have a link to that in the description if you're interested. There's I think it's the Lego Family House that had this too, or one of those. And yeah. And we got these crusty old batteries here. The 3 cells in here, I think they're LR41 like coin batteries. And yeah. And there we go. And yeah, it's not fun. And I hope this crude tutorial helped you out.